Green is a meanie.
Dun, 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 dun. Hello. Hi. Hello. This is what's in the box. What's in your box?
What's in the box?
So, do you want to?
What's in the box?
Do you want?
What's in the box?
Dun, dun, dun.
What's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box?
We'll clip that. That'll be the new intro. I'll just put it. I'll just put it at the beginning of every episode.
Giant explosion.
And then just imagine it. It'll be explosion. And it'll be like a plane. And it'll be there.
No, that's too much.
Anyway.
It's September right now. We can't be doing planes. No planes and explosions, please.
So, do you want to? We could talk about other stuff, but
This is Zach. I am Cheryl. This is What's in the Box.
they can't see the what.
Doesn't
They can
matter.
only see-
Anyways.
Do you want to continue doing the train thing that we started last week, or else we can talk about other stuff? I have other stuff. But I think you kind of proved your point that you don't care about being a murderer as long as it saves other people.
Oh!
You're
What are
not
you talking about?
You're not really bothered with the whole morality thing. It's more of like, I don't care. I'll kill one person for other people.
Well, what's your answer to that then? If you're so high and mighty.
I'm not high and mighty because my answer would be to let the 5 die with no.
Because then you don't have blood on your hands? Yeah, you do.
No, then it's kind of a not my problem because then you start going down the rabbit hole of like, okay.
Nah.
No, then you start going down the rabbit hole of like, okay, so you killed, you now have murder, so you killed somebody to save 5 people, but who's to say that those 5 people are even good people? Who's to say that they weren't all convicts that escaped, that were murderers?
See, that's what I was saying before.
Who's to say that, like, you know what I mean?
I need to know the scenario.
It's more of a natural selection. I know it sounds.
What's the scenario?
It sounds very like selfish and like a not my deal, not my problem. But it's more of a natural selection
not my
thing.
Deal, not my problem. That's what I say.
Of like, if I don't do anything, then it just they were going to be on that track regardless. You know what I mean? Like before I walked up on it. Before I walked up on it, they were going to be there. They were there. So like me making a decision, butterfly affects more other decisions.
Zach just walks into the scenario and goes, nope, and just walks away.
Not my train, not
today.
I don't know.
I got my kids and I bounced out.
I don't know in reality. I don't know in reality if that would be the case, but like idealistically, like for the question wise, that's what I would choose. Unless it was more particular. Like and this was actually one of the topics I wanted to talk to you about in general, which we don't have to talk about today, but it just correlates. Is that if it was between you or the girls, like that would be a harder decision. That one I would actually like. I wouldn't be able to just be like, well, whichever one was gonna die. That's kind of how it happened.
I'm trying to be like that, but like my whole point.
But like I ain't trying to raise these kids on my
own. That's fucked up. Fucked up.
No, anyway,
you got 5 more years. You'll be fine.
So what? Been doing good so far.
You did fine so far. You'll be alright.
So, what happened this week? What has your week been? How has your week been? Is anything exciting? No.
I feel like you're fishing.
I am fishing because there's a pretty specific thing that happened this week.
I ain't biting.
Pretty specific thing that happened this weekend or this week, last week.
Oh, Wyatt started school.
Yeah.
You cried.
So how'd that make you feel? We're not gonna talk about me. How'd that make you?
How'd that make you feel?
That make you feel?
How'd that make you feel? That's my third one. I'm good.
I don't know. I told you this. I've had time, so I probably won't cry talking about it this time.
This time.
This time. I did like the first 2 days after that. Anytime I tried to talk, but it wasn't really the. And I kind of talked to you about this in the car. It really wasn't the letting him go to school that got me. It was so I'm gonna paint the whole scenario so you can
he's so big now.
so you can
he's
no
not
no
my
so you can
baby
fully
anymore.
so you can fully understand like this because it wasn't just a school thing. So like we took him and like all the kids are like playing or whatever, and he wanted to go play on the playground with everybody before he actually had to go inside. And so like we're like, oh well, we'll stand back and just let him go. Like there's parents, there's teachers, just let him like go play with everybody, right?
Yeah.
So he was playing, and we're just kind of sitting on the fence
Well,
or
we had
whatever.
moved from when he left us.
Yeah, we had been like, yeah, go play, and then we moved to the fence, like along the side where all the other parents were. And so like he's playing, and then he like stop, like he like comes out, and he like stops, and he's just kind of like looking around. And I was like, I was telling Cheryl, I was like, oh, he's just like trying to find somebody to play with.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
And he's like, and so he like, but he's like slowly moving like towards people, and then he started like tapping like adults, and was saying, hey, where's my mom, or where's my mom? But you could like see like the more, and he wasn't being like aggressive like normally. I know most people don't see Wyatt on a daily basis, but like normally like when he doesn't like get what he's looking for, he'll be like more like assertive about it, like louder, like where is my mom, like sort of thing. But he wasn't. He was getting more like panicky, like
and
with
more like withheld in
yeah, like with the more like people that weren't answering him or acknowledging him, he was like getting more and more of like oh, and like I was seeing, and that's the part that really got me, is because like seeing that is really what made me cry, is like because it was a realization in that moment of like, if that happens when I'm not here, like I can't do anything about like
I can't go up to him and be like, I'm right here, but it's okay.
Yeah, like in that like in that situation, like I went up to him and I'm like, we're fine, and like his pants got wet and he was cold and whatever, and so like getting him to calm down with that before he went in, like being able to do that, and it was that got me, is that I'm like, internally I'm like, oh, like if this happens at school, like I can't, he's just gonna, in my brain, he's just gonna live in that like paralyzed in that paralyzed like sadness or panic, like that paralyzed panic until like school's over. And so like that, which is kind of what I explained to you, is like that was, I'd never thought about that until that moment, and that was what made me cry, because I was like, he has to do something without.
What if he needs us and we're not there?
Yeah. So that was hard. Yeah, and so Cheryl's really proud to tell everybody that I cried.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I'm not sure that's amazing.
That's such a wonderful, sensitive husband who really cares about his kids. That's a good thing.
Yeah, that was.
Don't be upset by that.
That was. It's not really that I'm upset about it. It's that you feel the need to tell everybody about it. To be like, "How was your?" He cried. Anyway, so yeah, so that was the hard part for me. But also, he like even after his first day, like he wasn't. It's not like he stayed in that though. Like he had a good day. He's had the first couple days. He's been fine. He hasn't like gotten to pick him up and been like, ah! Like, or dropping him off or anything like that. So like it's not like he's not enjoying it. It's just like that for me. That was, I didn't have to. And again, we've talked about this. I didn't have to deal with that with the girls because they were already in school. Like that was already a routine thing. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't like having the girls at home all the time and then having to go through like, oh, now we're changing this whole schedule up, and now I don't get to see you for 2 hours and you don't get to see me.
Yeah.
Like they were already in that routine. So like it was already a part of that.
Yeah.
Anyway. So yeah, so that was hard.
Yeah, it's a transition for sure. I mean, it's a bittersweet transition because there's parts of it that you're like, oh, this will be nice. I have a little time every day,
Mhm.
but then it's also he's not there. Like even Friday after I got done crossing and I went to get in the truck. Well, every day when I get done crossing, he picks me up from the corner and I take off my vest and my sign and I put him in the back seat next to Wyatt. Well, Friday when I opened the door to put my sign and my vest in there, Wyatt wasn't there. I go, oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
He's not here to be like, mommy.
yeah.
So, yeah.
So yeah. So I mean, I cried. Hee hee. Fun for you, but like,
I
how's that for you?
don't know. Like I said before, when it comes to Wyatt, everything sucks because it's like,
Now that's it.
this is it. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is my last pre-K. This is my last first day of school. This is my last, I mean, obviously not my last first day of school. I still have 12 more years of that. But, it's my last first day.
Yeah.
It sucks. It fucking sucks. Because it means that he's getting older.
Mhm.
Every little thing is like, I don't know, a stab.
I was telling my mom it's really bittersweet is a good way of putting it, but it's really bittersweet because of how like nervous we were about him going to 4K and him like
Being able to be
being
there.
able, yeah, like to not have to have phone calls or for him to be even potty trained enough to go, like to be out of diapers. And it's bittersweet because it happened so fast
Yeah.
that like when he started potty training, because it only happened like 3 months ago,
Yeah. Well, he was,
something like
yeah,
that.
he only, no, 2 months ago. He only started actually like not wearing diapers anymore 2 months ago.
That's what I'm saying. Like we were so like, God, like what are we gonna do if he's still in diapers?
Yeah,
Like this
he's
is,
not gonna.
and then it happened so fast that it was like, great, finally, like this is happening. But also,
Oh no.
yeah, but also
He
bittersweet.
really is gonna
Yeah,
have to go to 4K. It's
yeah.
not a question.
There's not. I can't
He's
use
gonna
that
go
as an
now.
excuse of like, well, we can
You
go
get
next
another
year.
year
Yeah,
with us.
yeah.
Yeah.
But also, he's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, and that's the cool part, I guess, is that he's also enjoying it too. It's not like a bummer. Like he's not like I don't want to go to school. Like
Yeah. Well, yeah.
it's enjoyable for him.
Like I
Which is
said to
nice.
you that though we got home and I was like, that's it. We're homeschooling. That's it. That's enough. He had 2 days of socialization. He's good.
I did a blood thing.
Yeah,
I
you
did
went and donated your plasmas.
I did the plasmas,
Whoop, whoop.
and
Saving lives.
Cheryl scared the shit out of our son.
Oh. Okay, Wyatt wanted to go into the building really bad, which you can't even go into the building as a kid. So like, I was like, no, it's doctors for no babies can go in that office. And he goes, I'm not a baby, and I'm like, okay, well, only adults can go in the doctor's office. It's not doctors for little kids. It's doctors for adults, and little kids can't be in there. And he's like, why? And I was like, because they deal with blood. They're taking daddy's blood. And he goes, what? And I was like, yeah, they're just like vampire doctors. They're just taking daddy's blood. And that was like the worst possible thing I could have fucking said. Because he was like, what? And I'm like, no. Like, they're not going to, daddy be fine. They're just taking a little bit of his blood. That's it. They're not taking, it's fine. It's okay. I was like, it's okay. We're going to go play at Burger King. Daddy's going to be fine. We'll come back. We'll pick him up. You'll see. He's fine. And he's like, okay. And like we drove to after we dropped you off, we drove to Burger King and we get to Burger King and he goes, I can hear him crying. And I'm like, you can hear who crying? And he's like, Daddy's crying really loud. And he started covering his ears. He's like, he's crying so loud. And I'm like, Daddy's not crying. He's fine. You can't hear him. And he's like, okay. And I was like, let's go play. You'll be fine. You'll have fun. We'll go play in the play place. I'll get you one of the fun drinks, and when Daddy's ready, we'll go pick him up. He's like, okay. And he did really well for a while. He was like, playing and all that and pretending to be a cat. So I kept having to tell the cat to eat French fries, which is the most he's listened
That's nice.
about eating. So we have to remember that to give him a cat potion.
Give him a cat
We want him
potion
to
for
eat
him
his
to
food.
eat.
Yeah, because Kitty Wyatt listens when
Very
you tell
well.
him to eat his food. So, but yeah, but then like, I think we were there for about an hour, and he goes, "Well, yeah, it was probably about, I don't know, if it's say about an hour and 10, hour and 20 minutes." And he's like, he's sitting with me. He goes, "Daddy, okay?" And I go, "Yeah, he's fine." And he saw me he saw me talk to you, and he was like, "We call Daddy," and I was like, "No, we're not gonna call Daddy." And he's like, "Okay." And he's like, "Can we go see Daddy?" And I was like, "Well, we can't go see him yet. He's not done. But if you want, we can go wait outside for him." And he's like, "Yes, let's go wait outside." And he like picked up his drink and like left without his shoes. And I was like, "Wait, put your shoes on." But yeah, he was so worried about you.
That's nice.
So worried that he fell asleep while we were waiting in the parking
Yeah.
lot.
That's nice. It was exhausting.
Yeah.
How much anxiety he was going
Yeah.
through.
Yeah. Those vampires were gonna suck all of Dad's blood.
Yeah. It was fun.
Whoops. So now my son is afraid of Cujo and vampires. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know what to tell you. No, just not vampires as a whole, just the vampires that take my
Just the blood doctors.
The blood doctors.
Yeah. So that was interesting.
So how does it feel being back cross guarding?
It's good, yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. And then the kids are
It's not like a remorse. Is that this is such a I know I make fun of you about this all the time. This is such an old lady thing for me to ask you.
Stop it.
Does it like make you feel just as sad as Wyatt watching all the other kids that you cross all the time like get older?
I don't know, I've only done it for the 1 year.
I'm saying like even like
okay,
just,
but yeah, a little bit. So there are some of the kids that I crossed last year that are at the middle school now. And I didn't like some of them I didn't realize they were transitioning to the middle school yet. And so that was kind of sad to be like, oh shit, I'm not crossing. Like there's one girl that I crossed all last year that I didn't realize that she was going to middle school this year.
Mhm.
And she lives like on that side, so she's not crossing me anymore. She's going from the middle school home, but I can see her, and it's like, oh, it's kind of like, oh man, because like I don't get to like talk to her anymore. I don't get to like, well, I mean, the majority of our conversations was those are cool pants, but
and hi, bye.
yeah, have a good weekend. But either way, it was still, you know, like yeah, she was the one who had the pink in her hair, so it was like, you know, but yeah, I mean, most of the kids that I crossed, most of the kids that I had like interactions with and stuff are still there. They're still, but I lose another handful of them this next year, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Because some of my favorites are going to the middle school next year, and I don't think they only cross because they crossed to the McDonald's parking lot where their parents picked them up. So I don't think I'll see them at all next year.
So,
but we did, and okay, so like I've kind of complained about this. I think I've complained about this on the podcast before, actually. So like,
probably we're a bunch of complainers on here.
yeah, complain.
That's all we do on here.
Complain. Anyways, so so where I cross, like, I cross up at the corner of the elementary school.
Oh man, if you could. Sorry.
So the elementary school is in the corner of two main roads of our town.
Not happy and healthy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, our elementary school kind of is the Walgreens of our town, because it is like the two main roads of our town that the elementary school is at. So it's very busy and high traffic there. And then the McDonald's is on like right across the street from the elementary school. And where the elementary school door lets the kids out is directly across from the McDonald's driveway. like where the driveway for cars to pull in and out of McDonald's is. And some parents, instead of walking up just like not even a half a block to the crosswalk, will just cross their kids right there across that main street. And it infuriates me because it's like, okay, I get it that you're your parent, you're with them. They're not crossing the street without an adult, so it's not like, you know what I mean? But like I've seen so many parents and kids almost get hit by cars that are just like going because there's no, I don't know why there isn't, but there's no speed zone on that road either. I've never seen that in my life. I've never seen a school and there not be a school zone speed. But on that main street right there, there's no school speed. So like cars are just doing what the fuck they want. Like they're just going and they don't care that there's an elementary school there. They really don't. And I've almost been hit at the crosswalk by people turning right. And it happens where they're running out in the street with their kid and the person turning right isn't giving a fuck, and all of a sudden they're slamming on their brakes. The parent and the kids are stopping in the middle of the road. Like, I'm like, if you could just come up to the crosswalk, I'm there. I'm the one, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's my liability.
I'm the leader. I decide when we cross.
There's just a lower percentage of an accident going to happen.
Yeah.
And so that really frustrated me all last year because it's like, come on, guys, like, kids are so monkey see, monkey do. Like, kids are so, like...
Oh, I see where you're going with this. Took me a minute. No, go ahead.
Like,
Sorry.
if you... Like, why can't you just teach your kids the right way to do things? Like, I understand they're with an adult, but when they're not with you, they're still going to cross the street like that because they learned from you that it's okay to do that. And so now I'm dealing with all these kids in the middle school that don't have their parents with them, that are crossing the main road from Quick Trip to McDonald's instead of walking the half a block up to me to cross the right way. And that's frustrating to watch too because those cars are going really fast. And we actually, on the first day of school, we actually had an accident happen with a kid who got hit on a bike, and it wasn't even on the street. It was across, like the kid was just she was on a scooter. Her brother was on a bike. She was on a scooter, and she even stopped it was an entryway for a Quick Trip. So it wasn't even a road. It wasn't a crossroad or anything. She had the full right of way. She didn't even have to stop for this car because that's not how it works. And she stopped, she made eye contact with the driver, and she thought it was okay to go, so she went. The driver hit her, and then drug her 60 feet. Like, what? I mean, come on. And then even after this accident happened, the whole town knows about it. It's a small town. Everybody knows it happened. Everybody was there. Everybody's seen it in the papers, the news. And it even hit, like, Wisconsin news. It wasn't even, like... Whatever.
Sorry.
You know what I mean, though? Like, it
was in the papers.
It wasn't just local news either. Yeah. It hit, like, the state news. And these people are still running their kids across the street.
Oh, there was I meant to tell you this. The day after that, there was a kid that crossed that at that, you know, not from the Quick Trip, but the opposite side, because there's that on street right there. There was a kid that did it to me. That, like, the cars were coming, and he just ran across into the Quick Trip parking lot, like, in front. Like, there were cars coming, I was going the opposite way, and he didn't, like, look at me. He just, like, ran across because there was a gap in between cars.
See, it's funny watching it from a crosswalk point of, like, as a cross guard point of view, because, like, there's two types of people you see after an accident like that happens, and there's the parents
American kids, and un-American.
No, there's the parents and kids who don't give a fuck and they're like, it happened, but it won't happen to me.
Yeah.
Kind of mentality. And then there's the kids, like I saw on Friday, where this poor kid sat on a cross street where we don't have a crossing guard because it's just a small street over there. But he sat at the cross street and refused to go if cars were even, like,
near it. Yeah.
Like, he stood there and this car was trying to turn right onto the street and the car was waving for him to go and he goes, no. He said no to two cars. He said, no, you go. And I was like, damn right.
Same.
Damn right. Like if I heard that story where the girl was like, I made eye contact and then I got hit,
I'll fucking sit
like,
there until there's no traffic.
and that's what he did. That's what he did. Like he sat there and I watched him because I mean I can't do anything. I'm 2 streets over still. But I watched him sit there through car after car after car, and then finally when there was no cars left, that's when he finally went, and he went fast. He was like, I'm getting through this street.
Ain't nobody hitting me.
But it's just frustrating. Like it's because I don't know. Like I get it, but if our street wasn't so busy, I would get it a little. I'd be like, okay, I get it. Like it, you do kind of have to walk up and around to get to where you're going. I kind of get that, but it's such a like our street literally goes through 3 towns. Like the street that I'm crossing kids on, it's Taylor Street here in Kakana. That same street is Main Street in Little Chute, and then that same street is Wisconsin Ave in Appleton. So it's the same street. All the like, there's traffic coming from 3 different towns through this street, and like I don't know, it's just frustrating.
What time is it?
Time to get ill. It's not even 6 o'clock yet.
Okay. So how we
Ooh, I said it. I said, you said, what are we going to talk about today? And I said, we're going to talk about how it's time to get ill. Yep. And then you just asked me what time it is, and I said, time to get ill.
Good job, we talked about it.
Yeah. Because, Mom, you're just jealous. We the Beastie Boys.
It's copyrighted. We're going to have to cut that out.
If I cover my mouth and sing it, is it
demonetized? Anyway. So we kind of talked about it this week, but it actually was, I told you this when you brought it up, which is kind of funny because I already had it in my notes as something to talk to you about. But how do you feel your life has changed since we got together versus before that?
What do you mean?
And is there like well, of course you're going to be like, it's changed in the best ways. But like, as far as like, how you approach things, how you deal with things, like relationship wise, or even with the girls in school and you personally.
Well, I don't think the way I've dealt with the girls or school has changed since we've gotten together, really. I think it's only changed because of the school, not because of you. Like I think it's just like maturity and growth and like things we've been through with the schools and with the girls that has caused a change, not that you have caused a change necessarily. Like, and I don't mean that in a mean way or a bad way. I just mean like I don't think I would have dealt with things differently whether you were here or not. Depending like on the scenario when it comes to like the girls or the schools.
What's the scenario?
But I mean, a lot has changed on how I deal with like relationships and everything, even friendships necessarily too, because I've come, I don't know, I come from a very codependent background to where now I'm like,
that's kind of what like and I'm gonna give an example to kind of get what initially what I was thinking about when I said it, is that like obviously we've talked about like your circumstances before you moved to Wisconsin, and even when we first met each other, like as far as like you not being able to pay rent and not having another person to help out with bills and stuff, and like childcare and all, like your survival mode like instincts for years, what I mean. And then like even when we first got together, you were still in that sort of like I can kind of make rent, but kind of not. I can kind of maybe live by myself, but kind of not. And like raising the girls of like, okay, I still need to find people to watch them because I still need to do like to work or to pay these bills or to go do this or whatever. And then like since we've been together, like how is that? Is it just is it just like a calmness of like, oh, I have somebody else to like hold this, or has your like thought, I don't know how to word that, your
Well, I don't
perspective
know,
on
because when
like
we first got together, I was still hyper
things
independent.
changed?
I still was like, I want to pay all the bills. I'm
Yeah.
gonna take care of everything. Like I was still hyper independent. Like, no, I don't need you. You're
Mhm.
just here because I like you. Like,
Mhm.
you're not like I don't need you to pay my bills. I don't need you to pay my rent. I don't need you to take care of my kids. Like,
I don't cook. I don't
but
clean.
let me tell you, I got this ring. Um, and I was like that for a little while. I think a lot of that though is I needed to prove to myself that I could do it because it was just so difficult beforehand to do it.
was it was
well, I mean,
was
okay.
it even like a I want to see if this was really me in these circumstances,
Yeah.
or if it was
Well, I think some of it was that and some of it was just like I needed to be able to do it for myself.
yeah.
Like it was part of the healing process of I need to be able to do it on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like so your money was like fun money, but my money was like
Getting shit done.
yeah, we're gonna get shit done. We're gonna make sure the girls have what they need. We're
Mhm.
gonna have a roof over our head. We're gonna, and it was like I needed that. I
Mhm.
needed that for me, and it wasn't like if other people were looking into our relationship at that time without like context or anything, I'm sure it looked strange,
Mhm.
like that I was paying everything and that you were paying like some things here and there, but it was mostly just fun shit, and it
Mhm.
was mostly like going out to eat or trips or concerts or
Movies
shit
and
like
shit.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it wasn't like I mean it was like when you guys can just share that and it was like but I didn't need that.
Mhm.
I didn't need the going out to eat. I didn't need the concerts. I
Mhm.
didn't need at that time I needed to prove to myself that I could do it. I could do it all.
Consistently.
Consistently,
Yeah.
yeah, not just one time, not just 1 month. I needed to know that I could keep paying rent on time. I could
Mhm.
keep paying the other bills, the electric, the water, everything like that. I didn't need to get fucking yellow notices every other month,
Mhm.
like I could handle it. And it was like that for a couple years at
Mhm.
least, especially like when we first got together because you weren't working at Psalms anymore.
Mhm.
So like you were kind of bouncing from like I don't want to say job to job necessarily because it wasn't like a lot of them, but
No, it's only like
it was
2,
3.
3.
It was Stadium View, 1919, and then Trillion.
Yeah.
So, but
I keep forgetting about Stadium View. Like that's not like for some reason my brain
you were at
messaged.
Stadium View longer than the other two.
I know,
Yeah.
but my brain just fuses that with 1919. So in
Yeah.
my head, it just
Well, it
seems
was
like
the same
all one. Yeah, I know.
environment. It was just as toxic as both, at both.
True.
And you had someone that you couldn't stand at both.
It was so.
That was a superior, basically.
I will say, yeah. I will say though, Stadium View was a lot more fun.
Yeah.
I've said that many times.
But that's because it's also more of a bar scenario, whereas
Yeah.
1919 is more like a high class,
Yeah.
like dining experience where
Yeah.
so you
And you had
didn't
to
really
act like
have
it.
the fun
You had
necessarily
to
that
act
you
like it was
could at
too.
Stadium
Even,
View.
even though we're still deep frying fucking cheese curds, it's not that that much better.
But I definitely took advantage of that though and was like, no, you can quit. That's
Yeah.
fine. Like,
Yeah.
I've got this.
Mhm.
Like, because I was like, no, it's fine.
Which was also nice. I mean, at least from my perspective, it was.
Well, and I'm sure it was helpful for you in your journey of healing too from your past relationship because you were the one that was paying everything.
Mhm.
You were, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and so I'm sure that was a good change up for you, like a good like.
Well, I said this to somebody a couple weeks ago, but like as much as, and I guess people shouldn't know this, but not a lot of people do really take me serious when I say this, but I was continuously, whether it was at the same job or having different jobs, I was working since I was 17 continuously.
Yeah.
Like there was only that 2 months, 3 months maybe when I moved down to Davenport that I hadn't been working since I was 17.
Yeah.
So like to even during that time, really, when I was working those jobs, I was still working, and like I went from one to the next. Like there wasn't really
There wasn't a lot. Yeah, like I think the longest you took was a month in between
yeah,
them.
but that was nice having that from you. Is that like because I always saw it as like I can't quit a job because if I
Without
quit
another one lined up.
without another one because it's not going to work. And then having you giving me the freedom in that time of like, no, go. Well, we'll be fine until you figure it out.
Yeah.
Like that was made it a lot easier for me because then it wasn't finding a job because of a constraint. It was finding
Yeah.
a job of like, oh, I might
Something that you might actually be
yeah, I
interested in
might
doing.
enjoy this, or even like I do enjoy this.
Yeah.
Anyway, oh yeah, but like, has anything else? I would assume. Well,
Communication.
your idea on your kids has never changed, and I don't think will. But I mean,
No, I
like,
think, I mean,
just like how you see like your future and like things about it different from
well,
before.
honestly, I didn't even. I was so in
I didn't
survival
see a
mode.
future.
No, babe, I was so deep into survival mode when before I was with you that the future wasn't a thought. It wasn't something that I had even imagined before. It was I just have to get through the next
I just have to pay this bill.
15 years, and then I really didn't know what was going to happen after the girls were grown. I was like, I don't understand life beyond children. Like I don't. There wasn't even a glimmer of what that could possibly look like. It was just
There wasn't like most people of like when the kids get out of the house, I'm gonna go to Costa Rica, or I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna finally go back to school, or like
that I mean I hadn't even have thought of it because it was like I literally just need to be here for these girls and do what I need to do to make it. Like we have to make it.
mhm.
And so like yeah, I don't know, it wasn't even a thought until honestly not even until we got married really. And then it was like wow, I actually can
I did this.
I can have a life.
I came out
Like,
clean. I did this.
yeah, like yeah, I don't know. It was like, oh, like, but it's funny because even then, the future, I only really saw grandchildren.
Yeah.
And even now, I still only really kind of see
further?
grandchildren.
Oh, I was just gonna say that. Do you see any further than that?
It's like, I don't know, yeah. I mean, there's times here and there where I'm like, oh, yeah, we can just like go do something. Like, we don't have to, you know what I mean? Like, we don't have to plan out how we're gonna do that or where the girls are gonna go or if they're gonna go with us
or the line of driving so that if we go do this, we have to do it in Appleton because we have to come back to get Emma from here and Alice from here and
yeah,
do it all in one
and
trip.
like there's gonna come a time where it's just me and you and we can look at each other and go, let's go to Florida.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be kind of cool. Like
It's gonna be pretty sweet.
we're gonna be like, hey, we have some money put away. Let's just go.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm so child oriented that like I said, I mostly just see grandchildren and I'm like but I think we have time before that'll ever happen.
What about you? The same question, but
Never say never.
what about you personally? Like I know that you kind of said like that you were in survival mode for a really long time or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
I mean I've chilled out a lot. Like
but like, what about you personally? Like planning for stuff or like, I don't know, your worries, your anxiety, what you prioritize, what you actually enjoy. Because I know, like, because we've talked about this, like, when you're in survival mode, like, yeah, you have, like, good times and you, like, enjoy things or whatever, but it's not fully enjoyed because you're like, great, I did this fun thing, that was cool, but now I'm gonna have to do this, or, like, what if this would have happened, or, like, whatever. Has that changed or
I mean,
differed?
yeah, I mean I don't know. I don't know if it's I can't say it's because of you necessarily or because of like.
I wasn't necessarily meaning like because like these things happen because of me. I was just
Oh, well,
saying
you
like
kind of started it like that.
sorry, no, I just meant like time frame wise. I wasn't saying like sorry.
Yeah.
I wasn't meaning like me
Like-
specifically. I was just meaning like from the time frame of which we met to before is what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
So like the idea, okay, so like concerts in Milwaukee, like well concerts in general, that's always been like something that I've looked at and been like that's something people do when they have money. Like
Yeah.
not that we don't have money, just like I mean like that's something that people do when they're like rich.
Rich
not,
people go to concerts.
Yeah, rich people go to concerts, not fucking middle class
Yeah.
or low class. But I think that's something that I was like, oh, we can make that work. And then like trips to Milwaukee, that's something that I would have never fathomed before because like
Just the amount of
Okay,
logistics.
so like living like I did in Nevada, I lived 20 minutes outside of Reno, so that'd be like the equivalency of living from Appleton to Green Bay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, or De Pere, I guess, because Appleton and Green Bay is actually more like 30 minutes. But like either way, like so and great and driving to Reno when I was that poor was
Mhm.
like you're going to use up every last dime you have to
Mhm.
do that trip. Like this is a big trip of the year. You know what I mean? Like
that's like you're picking up some shit to make it like worth that trip.
Yeah. Like because not only because because and people don't think of it this way when they're like it's a 20-minute drive, what does that matter? But like for me when I was that broke, it wasn't just a 20-minute drive. It was the 20-minute drive, so that gas that you use to drive and drive back because you're going to have to get back somehow. You live in the other town.
Mm-hmm.
And however long you're in Reno, you're going to have to feed yourself and your children. So you're going to have to get takeout or you're going to have to buy something from the grocery store. And if you're living like I am and you're getting your store or your groceries from the fucking food bank,
Mm-hmm.
you can't really afford to go out and buy food from McDonald's or or even buy a snack from the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
Like you know what I mean? So it was like something that normal people are like, yeah, it's like I'm gonna go to Green. Like if I like just even now, if I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to Green Bay and come back, I'm gonna go Green Bay for a few hours and come back. It's like the logistics of that isn't really thought through. Like I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
just drive there and come back. I'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
And but like then it was like, do I have the $40 to afford that? You know what I mean?
Or even
like,
if you needed to get something from Reno in the same
yeah,
aspect,
which
is this one thing worth the money I'm gonna spend to get there?
Which at that time, if I needed, well, and that's also what sucked about that whole situation too, is because if I needed benefits, like if I needed which I never was able to get, like if I needed food stamps or Medicaid or anything like that, I had to go to Reno to get that stuff done.
Yeah.
And it was like, I don't have the $40. Like I need benefits. I don't have the $40 to drive to Reno to get the benefits that I need.
Yeah.
Like, and I remember how many times it was like a whole day trip with another family of people who need benefits too, just to go to the benefits office to get things done. It wasn't like, oh, I can just drive there and take care of it. It was me and a mom from another family would get together and decide, okay, this is the day we're going to do it because this is the day we'll get our checks and we'll have just enough money to do it. And we'll have to take all the kids with us and we'll have to feed them over there. But this is, we got to get this done.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like, heaven forbid, I had to go to the DMV.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had to go to Reno for that. And even if I didn't have to go to Reno, because people who live there will be like, well, there's a DMV in Fallon or Yerington. Yeah, okay, but that's still a 20-minute drive to Fallon or a 20-minute drive to Yerington. And I'm still out the fucking $40 for gas, food, and whatever it cost me at the DMV, which at that time it usually cost at least $25 minimum for anything you wanted to fucking do.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of $25 is a lot of money when you're only bringing home a $500 check every other week.
Yeah.
Which is what I was bringing home every other week. So it's like, and people can say, well, you should have worked more, you should have done this more. Well, it also, it's so hard to make people understand because you're only as good as your knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And
100%. I've talked about this many times.
And you're only as good as what other people believed you to be. And at that time, I was only McDonald's money good.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean that as in I couldn't do anything other than McDonald's, because clearly I could. I did. I grew.
Mm-hmm.
I learned. I watched other people and said, wait, if they could go from that job to that job, then why can't I?
Mm-hmm.
But I was under the impression that you couldn't work in big places like Amazon unless you had a college degree. You couldn't, and I know that sounds so stupid, and it's going to sound stupid from people who know me too, because they're going to be like, I worked at Amazon without a college degree, but
yeah,
it's just, it's so hard to make people understand the mindset that you get in these situations.
Well, that's kind of something that I was talking to you about a couple days ago, or yesterday, is that just your mindset of, and not necessarily, I mean, it does happen, but not necessarily people telling you these things, but just context clues of what you're around. Me and you talked about if you grow up in a house, and there are exceptions, there are people that get a different light switch, but for the most part, if you grow up in a house that has dogs everywhere, that has clothes everywhere, that your parents are barely making enough to get you food, you're eating nasty food just to get through, you grow up in that environment, you're going to think that I'm gonna put this in a nice way.
This is what I'm worth.
Well, not just what I'm worth, but a step up from that is good enough. Is you can't get any higher than that. You know what I mean? If you grow up in that circumstance and then your house still has shit everywhere, but you can afford frozen pizzas, in your head you're gonna be like, well, I made it better, so this is as high as I can get.
Yeah. And see, and it was hard for me.
That's an extreme example, but that's what I'm saying. With the job thing too, if you see your parents go from job to job, or from fast food restaurant to fast food restaurant, and they're an adult, you're gonna grow up thinking I can't do better than this because they're an adult and they can't do it. So how would I be able to do it? Especially if they mirage it in a way of we still paid bills and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then you're in that scenario and you can't pay your bills and you're like, I don't fucking get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what was so hard is because, I worked at McDonald's for 5 years. The first 5 years of my adulthood, kind of, because I guess a couple of those years I was a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
But was living off of McDonald's wages, which at that time is minimum wage.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like now where you can go to McDonald's and get paid $16 an hour to be a manager. I was getting paid minimum wage, and that was at the time, I don't know,
5 something, 6 something.
No, actually, I think you're right. I think it was 5 something until
I was gonna say they raised it to 7.
I think they raised it to 7 when I moved to Amazon. When I finally went to Amazon and finally got a big girl job.
Yeah.
Or what I considered to be a big girl job.
So yeah, around that time it would have been 5 something, 6 max.
And I mean that's nothing. That's fucking nothing. And even then rent was $500-$600. So I'm making rent in one paycheck, and then I have the other paycheck, and I still have to pay electric. I still have to pay water, or
gas.
Gas, which most of the apartments I lived in didn't come with that stuff already included. So it was those are individual things. Trying to figure out a phone bill because I need to be able to have some sort of communication with the outside world. Trying to figure out food for the kids. They're going to school. They need supplies. They need, whatever. They need lunches. They need, and it's I could not do that. $500 a month or every other week was not enough to do that. And like people are like, well, like, I imagine listening to this, people are like, okay, but you had a spouse, and it's like, okay, but out of the 8 years we were together, he worked maybe a total of 2.
Mhm.
So like I didn't. I had a glorified babysitter, like, and like, yeah, I didn't have to pay for childcare because I had that. But making McDonald's money, paying for all the bills by myself,
Mhm.
that you can't. That doesn't work. And I couldn't do 2 jobs. I just couldn't. There was no fucking way. Like those girls needed me. I don't want to get
Well,
into it,
even
but
even in the
it
even
was
in
very situational. And
even in the Amazon thing, I've said this to people. And I don't know where we would have to really go down the rabbit hole, and we don't have the time to do that. But I've even said this to people of like, there's a mindset you get in when you become an adult and you have nobody guiding you or showing you or like guiding is probably the best word, that getting a factory job, and I'm not saying anything about factory jobs. People work in factory jobs for all their life and are fine. But when you're an adult and you go from, I can make, and it's a mindset for real because it happened to me. I can work at a fast food restaurant and make $10 an hour, or I could work at a factory and make $13 an hour. That jump doesn't seem like a lot. That money jump doesn't seem like a lot. But when you're first starting to like get your own apartment, and it happened for you a lot sooner because you had Emma, so like that adult thing happened a lot faster for you. But like you jump on the money train or on that train, and it's hard to get off because you're like, this is consistent. This is way more money than I I personally think I'm worth, because
yeah,
because you think that you're still worth McDonald's money. So you feel like you cheated the system getting a
that's
factory
how
job.
Amazon felt when I first started working at Amazon. That's how that felt.
That's
It
what I'm
was
saying. Like you feel like
I
you
don't even
cheated.
know what to do with this much money.
Yeah, you feel like you cheated the system. You're like, they're paying me this much and they don't even, like, I should be working at McDonald's and they're paying me whatever. And so, but then you get into a mindset of like, this, I can't do more than this. And I guess I fell into that, which is different from you, I would assume, because I did drop out of high school, which you didn't.
No.
But like, I convinced myself for years of that, of like, you're never going to get better than this job. Like working at a factory, being a, well, at the time, being a supervisor is, you're not going to, if you quit here, there's no way you're going to ever get this back because you don't even have a high school diploma. Like there's no way that you're going to even get this. You're going to go back to fucking McDonald's because like with Psalms, I had worked my way into that. So it was kind of, what I convinced myself of for years was it was kind of a cheat the system sort of thing. Of if I stay in here, I can get to this job. Whereas like if I just go try to get this job, there's no way anybody's even going to look at that because like I didn't even finish high school.
Well, even like I told you, even a few years ago, just working at Psalms, I even told you that like
With my experience,
I just need, yeah, it was like the mindset's still there. It's still there.
Mm-hmm.
It's if I quit Psalms before I get into leadership, I'm still not gonna be able to get anything more than what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
But if I can get into leadership and I can keep leadership job for over a year, then I have a year of leadership experience that I can take anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, why I'm good enough to get leadership anywhere.
Out the gate, yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I mean, it's just because of how society talks about it. Because they do talk about it that way. They do talk about it like you need experience. And I think part of that too doesn't help when you're trying to get your first job as a teenager either. Because that first time you're trying to get a job as a teenager, places like McDonald's are telling you, oh, well, I don't know if we can hire you, you have no work experience. Yeah, and how am I supposed to get the fucking work experience? I remember being so frustrated trying to get hired for my first job because it's like, it felt like everybody was like, you don't have any work experience. And it was like,
yeah,
that's the point.
That's why
like,
I'm coming
how am I
here.
supposed to get work experience? Like, what else do you want me to do? And it was even worse for me because I did the volunteering thing.
Mhm.
Like, I volunteered as a tour guide for the Nevada State Museum. So like I had volunteering background before trying to get a job. So I did have what they call experience as far as teenagers go, and I still was being denied because of lack of experience. And so I can imagine what that was like for you, someone who didn't, have
anything,
like
anything.
you
whatsoever.
didn't have volunteering background, you didn't have a diploma, you weren't in high school. Like I can't imagine what that was like for you because I know it was frustrating for me who had like I did do honors class. I did have a diploma. I did
It was
like
I saved myself on accident with that, I feel.
Yeah.
Because my first job ever, my first ever job was was right after I dropped out of high school, and it was a factory job. I don't know how. It had to have been
illegal.
Illegal. Well, they had a lot of illegals working there, but I think honestly,
I think it's a law. I don't think you can work in factories until you're 18.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. I think it was illegal. It was done illegally.
Maybe, I don't know. I gotta check, so it doesn't matter to me. But yeah, but I got my first job was in a factory, and it sucked. It's probably, I mean, I look back on the money wise, and I'm like, you're so fucking dumb.
That was stupid.
But the job itself sucked. It was a sorting.
Well, factory jobs do suck.
Well, no, that one specifically. I tell people the story now, and they're like, "What? You had to do that?" But yeah, we had to sift through. It was a canning company. We had to sift through all the stuff from the truck. So the trucks would dump all their shit. It would go on the line, and then you would pick all the shit from the farm, like the snakes and rats and twigs and shit out of it.
Yeah.
And then it would go down, and then it would get separated again. But you're standing on a metal grate.
Yeah.
And we weren't like required to wear steel toes, which looking back on it, I'm like, anyway. But you stand on this metal grate that has like the little prongy things for grip or whatever, and it vibrates for 12 hours. 12 hours.
Yeah, okay,
you're standing on it.
To be fair though, if you're, how much different is that from doing like the sorting for blending?
It's not. That's what I'm saying. It's only the grates on there don't move as much.
I'm just saying though. Like,
I'm talking like the ones
digging
the ones from it was like
yeah, I get it. I'm just saying you're still digging through meat for hooves and feathers and snouts and bones. You know what I mean? Like
I didn't really mind that. I didn't mind that part.
I couldn't do it.
No, I really didn't. I used to fuck with people all the time. It's really funny because we had like little buckets next to us that we threw all the stuff in, and new people, because I was there for like 3 months. New people, I would like grab the snakes or like the little mice or whatever, and I'd be like, "What do you think this is?" And they were new, and so they would like freak. It was so funny and freak out.
I'm just saying though, like you said that I tell people about this and they're like, "We really had to do that," and I'm like, "Okay, but like, how different is that from like sorting on the
but I think it's just that people don't believe it because it was like blending gets like stops, like the whole inspection room stops. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't run like 24 hours. So I think that's the part because it does. That machine never shuts off.
Yeah.
Like you rotate for breaks, like it never stops. So you're like literally for 12 hours like shaking on a metal crate. But anyway, but I say that I got lucky with that because that was my first job on record.
Yeah. So you had
when I went to apply to other jobs.
You already had a factory job.
I already had a factory job. So it did like give me a like, oh, he has experience.
A little level up because factory jobs are more grueling than like McDonald's.
So that was nice. I that saved me. But also, like I've said many times, stupidest thing I've ever done though, because I was making $1,700 a check, which is way more, more than I was making at Psalms.
Yeah.
And before
you were also but you were also a kid.
17, living with my parents.
Yeah.
No bills.
But that's what I'm saying.
No nothing.
At that time, there wasn't insurance laws or anything either, though. So you weren't paying insurance. You weren't paying 401k.
Yeah, but I
know.
You
weren't paying.
I agree, but that's what I'm saying. Though.
Like your taxes were probably pretty low because you were
actually
younger.
for the first. Actually, the whole time I was working there, that was the only job that I didn't claim I didn't claim taxes. That was the only one.
Yeah.
Which is why my check was so high.
That's what I'm saying though. So that's what I'm saying.
But
is that
anyway, but yeah, but like
I'm
I didn't
sure
save,
you were
but
probably making more money at Psalms. It just didn't look like it because you were paying into so
well,
many other things like
well, yeah, because
insurance, 401k.
technically I was.
Yeah.
Because I was getting paid way more.
Higher
than-
taxes
Yeah.
because you had dependents.
But
Or
yeah,
you
but I didn't
claim
save.
dependents.
But I didn't save any of that whatsoever. I lived with my parents until I was 20, and I didn't save any of that.
See, you're so bougie.
I spent
Lived with my parents till I was 20.
everything. That's not true. I don't think I like
We
lived.
grew up a very
I don't think I lived with them.
different teenage to
Yeah.
adult scenario.
I don't think I
Very
lived.
differently.
I don't think I like lived with them until I was 20. But like,
Yeah, but you didn't. You even when you moved out of your parents' house, you didn't live on your own.
oh, that's what I'm saying.
You lived with other people until what, like, well, only like a year before I met you, right?
Yeah, it was definitely after I was. No, I had to be 21, close to 21, 22 maybe.
Well, you were 23 when I met you, so
Yeah, 22 should have been the year before.
that's what I meant. I meant the year before.
Yeah, the year before I met you is
Yeah.
when I stopped living with other and got my own apartment.
Yeah. Not saying that I lived on my own at any point either. I was just saying,
Yeah.
because I couldn't afford to.
But anyway, but back to my point though is that like what I was saying before is like starting off like that for me put it in my head of like this is the best you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Like this, especially like looking back on it in that, and I framed it that way for a long time. I still do. I still think I was fucking stupid because if I just would have saved that money for even a year, like I'd have had no problems moving out. I'd have had no problems, like nothing. But anyway, but like that being my first job and like having that much money at my disposal, like put it in my head of like this is as good as you're gonna get. Like
Yeah.
this is good. Like this is good job money. Like whatever sort of mindset to where like over time that grew into like you can't not have this job because if you don't have this job, you're not gonna be able to get another one.
Yeah. Yeah, Amazon definitely broke that for me. Because, yeah, after Amazon, I worked for ABM, which is a cleaning crew inside of Amazon. I learned about them by working at Amazon. And, I mean, they didn't pay Amazon money, but they paid pretty good still, comparatively to like fast food or whatever. And then I found out about Zulily while I was working at ABM and moved to Zulily, which is, it was basically the same thing as Amazon at the time. And then the only reason I took a step back when moving to Wisconsin and worked in the grocery store was because I knew I could get it like that.
It was a for sure job.
It was like I didn't have to go look for it. Like my whole family worked in that grocery store. Like it was 100% going to happen. So it was like for sure money coming in immediately. So, but that was terrible. That was such a fucking.
That was
horrible. 6:30.
I have a potentially funny question that I just thought of.
Hmm.
So I know like
I would have never met you if it
in
weren't for
Nevada-
Craigslist.
uh,
Did you know that?
I did know that. We've talked about that. We met on Craigslist. I'm just kidding.
Craigslist connections.
Searching good potential baby daddies.
No, I just searched
I was
warehouse
like, boop.
jobs.
Right here. I be your baby daddy.
Warehouse jobs on Craigslist.
No, but like I assume because of where you lived and worked, and you've worked with a lot of people that like you grew up with or that like you know.
Here it comes.
I know. I heard.
You're just supposed to knock.
Oh. Can I come say hi?
Yeah.
Yeah. Say hi.
This
Hi.
is Emma. This is our
the
oldest that we
it's the
talk
best
shit about.
daughter ever.
I'm the favorite.
Gang.
I'm the favoriteest.
Other than Wyatt.
Thank you.
Love you.
Love you.
Other than Wyatt, of course.
But anyway, because like you've worked with people that like you know or that you've grown up with or whatever, have you ever gotten a job with somebody that like you heard about them getting that job and you're like, oh, that sounds really interesting, or like, I bet they're really good at that because they've been here X amount of weeks, months, years, whatever. And then you work with them and you're like, this isn't as hard for me as you make it out to be for you.
Wait, no, give me a scenario. I don't understand.
So like when I started at Psalms,
Mhm.
obviously I had people who had already been working at Psalms. And they had talked about how like,
oh yeah, because you.
this is difficult.
I keep forgetting
and
that
this is-
you found out about Psalms through your church.
Yep.
Okay,
Well, yeah. But
church people.
like I had heard from them like, this is so difficult, like I work here and it's not as easy as it looks and whatever. And then when I started working there, it was easy for me, like off the bat.
Yeah.
So I was saying, because of the jobs that like you've had and with other people, like has that ever happened to you to where like people you're around have been like, oh, I work here and it's so difficult, and then you work there and you're like, actually it's not even like not that hard.
I don't know, because I feel like I've always been the gatherer.
Of people?
Yeah, I
Been
feel
the
like
Pied
I've always
Piper
been
of
the one that's
jobs?
like, come to this job. It's pretty easy. I'm trying to think of a situation where that has happened. I'm trying to think.
Well, I was gonna say I would feel like your mom with Amazon would be the closest one, but your mom never really
No, my mom
complained
didn't
about
complain
how
about how hard
hard it was.
Amazon
Yeah.
was. The only thing that ever happened to my mom at Amazon is she got injured, and I can totally see that working at Amazon. Like,
Have you ever been initially like, yes, you are, you're so awesome, but like initially better than everybody else? Like just like got into a job and been like, I understand all of this. Not all of it. That's an exaggeration. I get it. I'm
I feel
good
like
at
I'm
it
getting it faster than the other people
than
I'm
other
being trained
people.
with.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I didn't feel like that at Psalms.
I felt like that at Psalms, and that was the biggest problem with me. Is that like, and like I said, mainly because I had heard from like other people that had worked there about like how hard it is or how difficult this
Yeah.
one thing is,
But I
or
didn't have that.
whatever. That like everything came easy to me.
The only
even
person
operating for what it's worth.
The
I mean,
only-
like I had you, like I got to
Yeah.
hear like you operate before me and like hear you come home and talk about stuff, but I never operated with you, and even that came really easy
Yeah.
to me.
To be fair though, at Psalms, the only person I knew
Can I take this off now?
Yeah. The only person I knew at Psalms, like that we knew each other at Psalms, was someone who started with me the same day I started. So it was
Yeah.
like
It wasn't a
wasn't-
good gauge of.
yeah. He did get better at it faster than I did, but but I also feel like certain aspects anyways, certain aspects of that job.
They went in my tattoo. I didn't think they were going to, because they pointed it out before.
How did they?
Yeah, they're like, I don't think we can do this because of how close his tattoo is to his vein. But
Oh,
they
well.
did it anyway. Anyway.
No,
See, it's black. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
okay.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Certain parts of that job came easier than other parts. Like, I think I wouldn't have been so like, oh my god, why is it taking me so long to get a hang of this if I started in a different area than I did. Because, like, it took me a long time to get used to Rapid Pack. Like, I was
But also, I feel like
roughing it.
Also, I feel like it's a difference.
I think the people
And I've
around
said-
me didn't help either.
Well, that's what I was going to say, because this is the difference for me, and I've said this for a few years now, is that I think it also depends on who's in those positions the time that you start.
Yeah.
Because, like, not to pep myself up or anything, but, like, you started in Case Pack when I was already over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You were already
Like, when I was already...
you were already basically in charge of Case Pack when I finally started coming.
Yeah,
over.
that's what I'm saying. So, like, and not that it took a while for me to get our people that inevitably did take over that when I got fired with you.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if you were to come into that with that caliber of people, like, you know what I mean? Like, everybody knows how to do the middle. Everybody knows how to pack by themselves. Everybody knows how to run both. Like, if you would have came into that, then your thought of like, oh shit, why am I not,
Yeah.
would be different. Whereas like mine, no disrespect really, it's not meant that way, but like mine, I came into Donald super lazy, bare minimum, like would take super long breaks because he could. And then Nick, who didn't teach anybody anything, he would just do it all himself. And so like my level of entry was like, well, they're getting paid full time, so as long as I can keep up with Donald, like I'm doing like enough, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas like you're
Well, I think my problem is I was in Rap Pack with people who were also new. Like, all the good people were in the front of the Rap Packs. All the bad people were put in the back of the Rap Packs. So that way, all the good people were having to fill in our pockets that we couldn't fill in.
Mhm.
So, like, if we're fucking up and not putting all the sausages in, they were filling those in for us. And they would get upset and yell at us. And instead of actually, like, taking the time to show me, like, hey, if you do it this way, it'll work better. If you, pick it up this way, lay it down this way, you'll get a better hang of it. And you'll start to get faster. And then you can figure out what makes faster for you.
Mhm.
I didn't have that. Like, it was so clicky. So, like,
Mhm.
the people that were already there and been there were so like, can you just get used to it? Can you just
Mhm.
do it? Can you just feel it? And the people I'm across from, the people that I'm doing it with
Mhm.
physically, are also new. So we're just fumbling back here. Like,
Yeah.
we're just like, and I think it got discouraging for me because even some of the people that were same level as me were getting better, and I felt like I wasn't.
Mhm.
And I got moved to Case Pack one time. Case Pack on 3. That was the first time I saw
Mhm.
you. And
You know that, speaking of, I know you've told this story before,
actually, the first time I
But
got
did
sent
you-
to Case Pack on 3, you weren't there.
but I was talking to Mikey about how I was bringing up that me and him used to switch all the time.
Yeah.
And we like mid shift because he was on third shift and he was on QX3 most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
That mid shift, one of us would I would either go upstairs or he would come down to 2 and be like, "Hey, you're upstairs now," and we would just like take over each other's case packs just at random times, like mid shift.
Yeah.
And he didn't remember that.
Huh.
He's like, oh, I don't remember. Like, I remember you coming up there, and I remember me being on. I don't remember us like doing that. And I was like, it was at least like twice a week.
Yeah, I don't know.
And that was back when we had the whiteboards in front of the doors too,
When I
which is a shame. And I understand why they got taken down, but that was so much fun.
do you remember that
That was
Cassandra
the
girl?
best thing that Psalms ever did, was giving us the ability to write on a whiteboard, because it was so much fun.
I think it was Cassandra.
What?
There was a guy upstairs in QX3 Case Pack, and I
Mhm.
think he was in a relationship with that Cassandra girl.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the first one I ever had to work with on QX3 Case Pack.
Yeah.
And he just had me opening packages. Like, he had me just doing rework. And that's all I was doing the whole time I was up there. And then the second time I went up there was when you were up there. And that's when they sent me to
And you made me
rip the
angry
boxes.
on purpose.
And I noticed that anytime I fell behind, you would come over and help. And so I was like,
Because it was my job.
I was falling behind on purpose. Yeah, but if you would have just
Sneaky.
okay, but to be fair, if you would have just ignored me,
Sneaky.
I wasn't falling behind to the point where I couldn't catch back up on my own.
How was I supposed to know that? I didn't know who you were.
Okay, but if you would have ignored it, you would have found out.
I couldn't ignore it because it was my job to keep it going, and I didn't know if you were lazy.
People weren't out of boxes. I was just fumbling.
Okay, but that's why.
Cutely.
Okay.
Oh no, I can't get this one off.
That's also. But I can get you.
Come here.
That's why I ran it so well, is because I didn't wait until boxes ran out.
Which is the opposite of how you ran QX2 Case Pack, though, because I don't know how many times you left me on the line to just fend for myself, and when I was
Yeah.
falling behind, just went, she'll figure it out.
Yeah. Well, that was because I had other people to rely on.
Mm-hmm.
No, seriously, it wasn't. On 3, it wasn't. I didn't have. Plus, it really
It wasn't your crew.
Yeah, it wasn't mine.
I get that.
I made my people on too, so I didn't worry about shit because I did
But
train.
after
I did train and get the best that they had at the time.
after the couple of times of being in case back and seeing that there's other areas I can work in that I'm not feeling like I'm totally epically failing at,
Mhm.
I started asking more often, like,
Yeah.
is there a chance I can be in case back today? Like, I wasn't aggressive about it. I was like, I'm not working a rapid back like some people are. But and it worked out for me because I excelled in case back.
Yeah.
I mean, I went from 0 to hero fast. Like, it was.
Because it's how your brain works. I tell people that all the time. That I feel like that's why that was so much. I feel like that's
Well, I
why that
also
was so
had-
much fun to me, and why it got to be so much fun so fast.
There was also superior people working around me that I could
Mhm.
watch and learn from. Like, it
Yep.
wasn't just me and another newbie fucking failing and fumbling and
like it was with me and Jay.
other people yelling at us.
Like it was with me and Jay when we were
Yeah.
trying to figure it out before you guys got over
Yeah,
there.
it was.
Yeah.
I had people like that Dan.
Yep.
Not Dan, but the old drunk guy Dan.
Yeah.
I had people like Dan and Jamie, and at that time,
And Tim.
like, Jamie was good at case back by that point because
Mhm.
he had been over there with you guys for so long. And then I had Tim, and
Mhm.
so I had people I could watch. When you got on the line, when Gerald got on the line, I could see how you guys were doing it, and everyone had a different way of doing it, which made me realize, okay, I don't have to do it like everybody else.
Mhm.
I can figure out which is fast for me. And the fastest way for me is really weird for everybody else who's ever been in case back because everybody does 3 at a time, and I could never. I still could
my
never.
favorite. We're going to talk about this the whole time. We're already past time. But my favorite thing to do is because that was so much fun because of the way, and I will take credit for that, the way I did it and the way that I trained everybody and the way that I got them to a level, and it was never about me being the superior person. It was about training everybody to do it in a not the same way I do it, but in a way that's efficient.
Yeah.
And better for everybody. So it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter if I was on the line or in the middle or fixing something or on break or anything. I knew that all of that was going to run and be fine. And everybody else knew that too. So there was no like, oh, I can't go on break because this person's going to be in the middle or they're going to be on the line or whatever. It was, I had me and Jay together because we hated the fact that when we got left in case back, we knew nothing because nobody taught us anything.
Yeah.
And we learned it all ourselves, that we didn't want that
for
anyone else. And so we did.
Well, you also didn't want it for yourselves.
We did.
You couldn't go on break, like you said.
We did train. We did, make sure in our ways, we did make sure that they could keep up, that they did know different packing styles, that they were able to. That's why I used to fuck with people all the time. Their first day. I mean, I did it to you, I don't know how many times, which became a game between me and you.
Yeah.
But I would hold the line back to a point where it was unrecoverable and let it go.
At my peak, though, I could recoverable it.
No, I can't.
Not a single fucking one would hit the back of the line.
Well, I could too, but I'm saying, like, I would do that, and that's why I said, like, in my own way, is that I would do that because I wanted
to see
to see who could do it and who was not going to throw their hands up.
Yep.
Which is why before you got over there, I cycled people out of my case pack.
Because sometimes
I made sure that the people that were there were going to be able to handle it.
And it is an important thing to know, and I know that sounds weird, but it is an important thing to know because there are times where the line goes down or the line fucks up, and then you are going to have that jam of meat coming through so aggressively, so fast that you got to learn to do something with it. Even if you can't pack it fast enough, you got to learn to do something with it. You got to learn to bucket it. You got to learn to keep it off the floor. You got to learn to table it. You got to learn to do something with it. You can't just sit there and put your hands up and go, "Oh my God, what's happening?" Like, even if you have to, I don't know. I made this connection so many times in case back. It's like the I Love Lucy scenario when the chocolate
with the chocolates,
up, and she just starts shoving them down her shirt. Like, keep them off the floor. Like, I don't care what the fuck you have to do with those sausages. But keep them off the floor.
But even because of that, though, which is what I was saying, because of that, it became fun. It wasn't just a job anymore. And I think that that's what got lost after
For sure.
I got fired and got lost in that company, especially after I got fired,
It got
is
lost
that-
totally.
is that for me, we all got so good at it that it became fun.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like we could fuck with people. We could hold back the line. We could take boxes away from them as they were packing so they get to the open spot and they're like, oh,
Oh
like
shit!
like we could
Yeah.
like we could like throw packages across and see if you can make it into the box as it's coming out of the boxer. Like we could draw stuff on like not the wall, but like on cardboard and like put it on the wall, like my welcome to
We
the
could.
like my welcome to the circus sign. Like
We
we
could.
could do stuff like that and have fun and enjoy it because everybody
We could pack with balloon hands. We could
with
pack with
balloon-
dinosaur hands.
Yeah. But like because everybody, and I don't know, there's a possibility that I could have a job where that it's like that again, but I doubt it. But because everybody was so well trained and understood the mission, if not like just understood that we're here to have fun, sort of mentality that me and Jay had in Case Pack, it just made everything else run so much smoother.
Yeah.
To where I feel like that's lost now because you have so many people bitching and arguing and like this
Oh,
person's
and it-
not doing this
and
and
it
this
so
person's
is,
not
'cause
doing
even-
this.
Even late into working there, when I was trying to like bring that back because I missed it in myself. It wasn't even trying to bring it back to the other people in the company. It was just bringing it back for me,
Mhm.
like just me being able to be silly and have fun. And it was just it got so tiring so quick because it's just
Being the
so,
only
like,
one.
not only that, but just having to listen to everyone bitch and
Mhm.
bitch and bitch, and it's like, God damn, like.
Like obviously I can't, and I've said this, obviously I can't take the tattoo off of me, nor would I. But like that's why I got my tattoo of like the Case Pack thing on my hand, is because like it's not just, it's that time.
It's not just an ego thing. It's
Time.
yeah,
It's that
it was a
like
period.
it's not an ego thing, but a self pride thing of like looking back on it even now, like I can be like, I did that.
Yeah.
Like I made that. Like it wasn't there before. That mentality wasn't there
It can't
before
be
I
an
got
ego
there.
thing. Your wife packs better than you.
Well, okay. But
She's faster and superior.
not.
Okay.
Anyway, but like that wasn't there before I got there, and it didn't. I mean, as much as you tried to hold it there, it wasn't there in the same way after either.
Mhm.
And so, like looking back on that, like that is a thing of like I did that, like that. It's me, okay? Just kidding.
It's not a fart smell.
I'm just kidding. But like looking back on it, it's like I did that. Like that moment in time, like that was me.
Yeah.
We gotta go because. Thanks for talking with me. You're worth more.
It's
You're-
a Leo Pleurodon.
You're worth more than a factory job. You're better.
But I
than a
like my
factory-
factory job.
You're better than a factory job. I know. You can-
And I have fun at my factory job.
and that's fine, but you're better than a factory job.
And my factory job feeds my ego.
It does. Plus, you don't have to deal with other people.
No, not really. I mean, I do, but not like in the same scenario.
I love you.
I love you.
Thanks for talking with me.
It's a magical Leo Pleurodon.
Out here saving lives,
Beans and cornbread.
crushing thighs and saving
Beans and cornbread